Good afternoon and welcome to today's Land Bank Board meeting on Friday, December 12th, 2025. Will you please take the roll?
Oh, you take me to the next of the slot. Thank you. All right. Hello, this is Acting Executive Director Sally Stadelman taking the role, Councilman Bobby Wilson, Councilman Daniel Lavelle,
Here.
Councilman Kahari Mosley, Director Wanda Wilson,
Here.
Director Jennifer Cash Wade,
Here.
Director Kirk Berkeley,
Present.
Director Steve Mazza, Director Tamara Dudakovich, and Director Tammy Thompson.
Here.
All right, we have quorum. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. That'll take us to public comment. For anyone wishing to give public comment, please use the raise hands function in the bottom menu if you wish to speak. As a reminder, public comment is taken at the beginning and a second time at the end. Do we have anyone here for public comment?
So, Chair, I'm actually not seeing any online speakers, but we do have an in-person speaker. So we'll call Ann Chen to the podium.
Hello, Pittsburgh Land Bank. My name is Ann Chen. I'm with Togan Communities, and I am really here to thank you for looking at our proposal and considering our proposal to purchase a number of properties in Garfield in order to deliver affordable for sale new Energy Star homes without subsidy. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Bloomfield Garfield Corporation, whose support we really appreciate, as well as Bridgeway Capital. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. So seeing no other online speakers, that exhausts our public comment. Back to you, Chair.
Okay, that'll take us to item number 3 on our agenda, which is the chairman's report. We have one action, which is the approval of the November board meetings. Meeting minutes, sorry. Is there a motion to approve the November 2025 board meeting minutes?
Motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The November 2025 board meetings minutes have been approved. Next up is the treasurer's report with 2 actions, and I will turn it over to Ms. Wilson.
Thank you, Councilman. Hello, everyone. I'm Wanda Wilson, the board treasurer. We have our financials closed for November. So to review those reports, this is the income statement showing the activity for November. It shows other quarters in the year, but the third column from the right is the November activity. And nothing out of the ordinary to report to you there. The next slide is the balance sheet. And so this is closed as of November as well. And this shows a healthy amount of cash in our bank accounts. You can see those in the first 2 rows. And a solid balance sheet with positive equity of $455,000. So strong cash position for the land bank. The next slide is the P&L, also known as the budget to actual. We can move to that. And this one, again, I would say that I don't have anything, really out of the ordinary to highlight for the board here. I would point out that we're for the first row that you see in the income, we are going to end the year with that not drawing down the full amount of the ARPA revenue that we had put in this 2025 budget. We will be drawing that amount in 2026. So you'll see that in our budget proposal that we'll talk about in a couple minutes here. Otherwise, everything is up to date, and I don't have anything, again, that I would highlight here for the budget to actual. We do have just expenses that haven't already been approved by the board. So there are a few of those. A lot of the activity that happens related to our properties themselves, those expenses have already been approved as part of approving the acquisitions and stabilization when we acquire properties. There are just a few little odds and ends here in our just boarding up properties, security for a board meeting, and the credit card expenses. We don't show detail here, but I have looked at the detail and it's mostly related to going to the conference that staff and board members went to in the fall, conference registration fees. So that total is $7,259.11. So I'm happy to answer any questions on the financials. And as the treasurer, I will make the motion to accept the November 30th, 2025 financial report and approve the November 30th, 2025 monthly expenditures.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? The November financial reports and the monthly expenditures have been approved. I believe that takes us to the presentation and approval of the 2026 budget.
Yes, thank you. So our next item on the treasurer's report is our 2026 budget. And so we're happy to present a solid balanced budget proposal with most of the revenue, like really confirmed, as not speculative revenue that we're looking at for the most part. And I'd like to give credit to staff for doing a ton of work on crunching a lot of numbers behind putting this budget together. And they are really, very firm numbers. A lot of analysis has gone into this. So for the revenue, this would be the last ARPA draw. For the land bank, it's the last year that we would have that source of funding. And then the next line there, the City of Pittsburgh PAYGO, that's the city staffing funding. Both of those things are approved, and we will just go through the process of drawing those down in 2026. For property sales, the amount there represents 71 property sales in 2026. And the tax remittance is 50% of the property taxes generated by properties that we've already sold out of our inventory. The expenditures, professional development is conferences, staff development, travel, and D&O, and directors and officers insurance. Professional fees is the audit. Legal, that is not the quiet title for property, but other legal services that we may need, and bookkeeping services. Computer and software expense, that's our website and a property database that we use at the URA to track properties. Our staffing costs reflects 4 positions, and it includes benefits for those positions. And it also includes the URA staffing fee. Property acquisition costs are we would acquire this amount is acquiring 46 properties from the city 3TB inventory and 22 properties at sheriff's sale. The property holding costs is maintenance and utilities for 76 properties over the course of the year, and stabilization costs for 37 properties. And the property disposition, there's some, closing costs and putting signage notices on properties and real estate agent commissions. So I'm happy to answer any questions that the board might have. But this has been, again, lots of staff work has gone into this, and we've all scraped it very thoroughly. I'm pretty confident here in presenting this budget to you this is a solid budget for 2026. think we have one more slide for the budget, and then we have this is some of the detail again on as I mentioned before, the properties that are represented in the budget numbers for the sales, the acquisitions, leading to those budget numbers. And again, after, we make the motion, if people have questions, I'm happy to go over any questions. And as the treasurer, I will make the motion to approve the 2026 operating budget for the Pittsburgh Land Bank. We may want to go back 2 slides where the motion, if we go back one more slide, oh, nope. So there's the motion written on the left side of the slide.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I think that was a very thorough update. So all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The operating budget for the 2026 Land Bank Board has been approved. That takes us to item number 5, which is staff updates, and I will turn it over to Ms. Stadelman.
Councilman, we do have one other action for the treasurer's report.
I apologize.
It's a walk-on, so that's
Yeah.
understandable.
We will be, as part of our moving to bookminders to manage our financials in 2026. We'll be moving to a different financial institution, moving our bank accounts. So there's 2 actions here. One is to add a motion to our agenda. And the second one is the motion itself to authorize the Pittsburgh Land Bank board chair and board treasurer to select a new financial institution and to enter into any necessary agreements to begin using the new financial institution. And we have reviewed our bylaws. I can let you know I have reviewed that. And this is consistent with the bylaws saying that once the board gives this authorization, then the board chair and the board treasurer can move forward. So I'll make the motion to add a motion to authorize the Pittsburgh Land Bank to select a new financial institution.
So
Is there a
moved.
second? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
I had a question, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair.
Yes.
2 questions, actually. So does that preclude the manager from having any say-so over the new financial institution? And will the treasurer and board chair inform us, or will they just make the decision? Thank you.
Yeah, we'd be happy to inform the board, and the acting executive director is also involved in selecting the new financial institution with whom we're going to work.
Perfect. Thank you
Yep.
for that. Then I'm in favor.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
believe the motion was approved. So that should now take us to staff updates.
Well, then we need to vote on the second motion. So then we make the motion to authorize the Pittsburgh Land Bank chair and treasurer to select a new financial institution and to enter into any necessary agreements to begin using the new institution.
So Ms. Wilson made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carried. That now, I believe, takes us to staff update.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilman Lavelle. Thank you for working with us through that walk on. All right. Just a few items. Starting with a quick overview of our year in review. What has the land bank been up to in 2025? So I am so pleased to say that we have hit far and away a record year with sales. This year we will have sold 88 properties by the end of the year. We've got an additional 12 sales. I'm looking at my transactions quarter, 12 sales, yes, before 13 sales that will be completed in the next 2 weeks, taking us to 88 total sales, bringing our total sales completed by the Pittsburgh Land Bank to 108 sales. Of the properties that we'll be selling this year, 12 were structures and 76 were lots. And you can see our buyers there on the right-hand side of the screen. Also, information about the sales we've completed are on our website. Go to our next. So we'll be ending the year with about 51 structures in our inventory and 22 lots, most of which should be sold by the end of 2026. And we have 43 pending transfers from the city. And big thank you to City Council, who has overall approved 181 transfers to the Pittsburgh Land Bank since our tri-party cooperation agreement was authorized about 2.5 years ago. We can go to our next. Just some quick snapshots of where that property is located within our inventory. Councilman Lavelle's leading the way. Property holdings in the land bank and total number of sales by council district. What's the next? Oh, thank you. And Councilman Mosley wins, comes in first this year for total sales completed in District 9. Also this year, our pilot residential rehab program is well on its way. We will have sold 5 properties out of pilot residential rehab by the end of the year. And just this week, we've listed another 5 properties. Those are located in the neighborhood of Elliott. So you can find those on Zillow or your favorite real estate platform. Example of one of our properties here, 304 Lorenz. Separate garage, it's always nice. And properties that we have that we are expecting to have listed early in 2026, they're coming very, very soon as well. Some of those additional properties in Perry Hilltop and Fineview. We've got a structure in Garfield and Sheridan as well. And just a couple of before and after pictures. We did share these out at our capital budget presentation as well. But just kind of the example of what we've been able to accomplish with this immediate stabilization work to stop any existing deterioration occurring at the house. I love this picture. That porch was in imminent danger of collapsing. We were able to get that down, and that will be rebuilt here in the next couple of weeks. So we're providing that immediate blight relief to neighbors and making properties more accessible to potential owner occupants. Kind of typical. Of course, a reminder of our buyer requirements. Another important accomplishment this year was our pilot donation program. We acquired our first 4 properties via donation. This was our opportunity to relieve property owners who are not able to sell property because of the amount of tax delinquency that is accrued, who are stuck in the PLI and magisterial district court citation process, often for years without relief. We were able to both save time and money by avoiding a tax foreclosure and provide immediate relief to those owners, some of whom had not realized they had owned the property for many years. So the two are moving in an affordable housing pipeline, and the other two will be listed through pilot residential rehab. And then we're going to briefly click through our updates for properties in our inventory that we're currently clearing title on and processing for sale. And as a reminder, we are listing our pilot residential rehab properties with licensed real estate agents. There is an application on our website, so we encourage any Pittsburgh-based licensed real estate agents to apply, accepting applications on a rolling basis. Next, I wanted to briefly update the board on the Homes Within Reach conference that we attended last week. Our board member, Jennifer Cash-Wade, also joined us. We sat in on sessions learning about conservatorship, cooperative housing models, LIHTC. We attended the PA-wide Blight Task Force update, as well as the Pennsylvania Statewide Land Bank annual meeting. Sat in on sessions about manufactured homes, home ownership presentation through tax policy reform, one of my favorites, as well as updates on the efforts statewide to update zoning and land use reform. Or I should say update zoning and land use laws, which is critical for our land bank work because when there is cost savings in and clear processes to build within the city, that helps us facilitate more sales and return property back to productive reuse. Director Cash-Wade, did you have any highlights you wanted to share to put you on the spot from the conference last week?
I attended one on homelessness, on homeless folks, which was really very interesting, very informative, and actually gave some, I was able to walk away with some ideas on how to market because, the Federal Home Loan Bank with most sales requires, there are a certain number of properties within the ones that you're constructing that they be sold to homeless people. So that was very beneficial. And then the fact that our acting executive director had a presentation on land banks. So it was really quite a good conference. Sally actually did hers in a different way. It wasn't just a lecture. It was very interactive with, she divided us into groups, and each group talked about what was going on with their land bank problems, solutions, working with government agencies, so forth and so on, within their part of the state. So, and that was also very educational, and it gave us an opportunity to hear what's going on in other cities. So it was quite a good conference.
Oh, thank you, Director Cash-Wade.
You're so welcome.
And finally, just a couple of updates for the public and our board members. Land bank offices will be closed December 29th through January 2nd, 2026. And also a reminder that we've canceled our January 9th board meeting. Our next board meeting will be the second Friday of February. All right, and Chair, that takes us back to you, Councilman Lavelle. Oh, Councilman Lavelle, are you with us?
I was on mute. I apologize.
No problem.
So that takes us to item number 6, which is action items, of which we have 5. Our first being under A, resolution number 104, which is an authorization to enter into a contract with bookbinders for bookkeeping services.
Okay, I'll start with just a brief overview and then kick back to you, Chair, to call the vote. So we're seeking board approval to enter into our contract with bookbinders who will be providing bookkeeping services to the Pittsburgh Land Bank. Any questions from board members? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Sorry, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The resolution has been approved. That takes us to item B, which is our city-owned properties, of which we have a number of resolutions. The first being resolution number 105, which is the acquisition and sale of 7 parcels on North Whittenbiddle Street, 50F 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, and 122, and 1 parcel on Rosetta Street, which is F 50 123 in Garfield.
Yes, thank you, Councilman Lavelle. And that for a summary for the board, we heard during public from Ann Chen, who's part of the team working on a project to construct privately financed, affordable owner-occupied homes. So we're excited to see how this pilot goes. They've got the support of the Bloomfield Garfield Corporation, and so these are the properties they've identified in Garfield to try that pilot.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 105 has been approved. That takes us to resolution 106, which is the acquisition and sale of 3 parcels on High Street, 24C, 136, 138, and 140 in Spring Garden. Sally?
And let me just pause for 1 second to make sure we've got the right
Yes.
numbers. So what's our number now? 1 second, our staff is updating us. So sorry, Councilman Lavelle, we've put you in a spot because of our walk-on resolution. So we are on 107, just to correct the record there. Which should be our MOCA update, yes? Is that right?
That's what we're seeing.
Okay, yes, there we go. Okay, so resolution 107 for MOCA. Okay. It's all a delicate balance. We change one resolution and it's a cascade effect. Okay, so so we're on, this resolution is we are working on selling a side yard to MOCA Art Gallery, and we just simply needed to update the name of the seller. It has to be represented correctly in the resolution. So that is what we're looking at here. You can see this is a very early sale because of resolution 10 of earlier this year. Okay, I think if there are no questions, yes, you can call for a vote.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 107 has been approved, which is the amendment to resolution number 10.
Okay.
That takes us to our sheriff's sale items, which are first is resolution number 108, which is the acquisition and sale of 22 residential structures in the neighborhood of Carrick, Arlington, and Knoxville within the Hilltop neighborhoods.
So quick overview for the board. This is a very exciting resolution as it will be the first batch of properties that we will be placing into the sheriff's sale. These properties were part of an LSA statewide application that we submitted just last month. So we're hoping to acquire these. We'll do some very light land care intervention. And then if our grant is successful, we will have close to $1 million to invest in these structures to stop active deterioration, while our partner, the Hilltop Alliance, the local community development corporation in these neighborhoods, will then apply for public funding. And in fact, we'll start applying for public funding in 2026 to complete full rehab so that these can be sold as affordable for sale homes to buyers that are at 80% or below of the area median income. And I should mention to you, the intention is the majority of those will be placed in, should become affordable, but we will also likely be selling some of these through our pilot residential rehab program as well. Any questions from board members?
Let's start with, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? This is certainly exciting for those neighborhoods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Councilman Lavelle, I'm not opposed. I'm totally in support of this, but I will abstain because I do sit on Hilltop Alliance's board.
Understood. So one abstention, which means resolution number 108 has been approved. I believe that exhausts our action items, which will take us back to public comment.
We sell quorum. That's right. Oh, let's see. Sorry, one. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Apologies. We were just double checking. We still had quorum. Councilman Levi, I think are you? Oh, yes. Public comment. I think we do have. Yes, I do see that we have two potential attendees in for public comment. Mohawk or Rich, if you would like to make public comment, if you could raise your hand. They may just be listening in to see how they're. Okay, yes. All right. We have Mohawk Chauhan with the Hilltop Alliance. Go ahead, Mohawk.
Thanks, Ellie. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Mohawk Chauhan. I'm the Director of Construction and Redevelopment at the Hilltop Alliance. I want to start by thanking the Pittsburgh Land Bank Board for all the support in the LSA grant submission process and for the continued work you do to move these efforts forward. I would also like to specifically recognize Sally and the Land Bank staff for the amount of coordination and the behind the scene work that goes into making these projects possible. The LSA grant and stabilizing these properties, this partnership model is a strong model for how we can responsibly acquire and stabilize these properties before further deterioration occurs, and then transition them into the productive use through programs like our Rehab for Resale program, which uses cyclic grants and funding sources. Having site control through the land bank significantly shortens the acquisition timelines, and then stabilizing these houses and stopping the further deterioration will reduce the development costs and allow mission-driven organizations like ours to develop these houses more strategically. Thanks again for the time and the opportunity. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohawk. All right, Mr. Swartz, any interest? Give Rick 1 second here. Okay. All right, we'll assume. Thanks for joining us, Rick. Okay, Councilman Lavelle, that exhausts our list of public speakers. Back to you.
And I believe lastly, we just want to announce our 2026 board schedule. Our first meeting will be on February 13th. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, even though it doesn't need it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.